Every year, college football naturally finds an interesting guy to become the face of the sport, with the most recent example being Gardner Minshew and his famous mustache. The last 2 years have been no different, as Georgia's kicker has become a legend for his signature rec specs. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the rise of Rodrigo Blankenship and how he could actually be the next great kicker in the NFL. If you love college football or stories like this, please make sure to take a moment to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, share it with your friends, comment who I should do next, and be sure to turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and now let's get started with the rise of Rodrigo Blankenship. Rodrigo started his career like most kickers do, as he was actually a soccer player. His dad had been training him for years to be an elite level soccer player, but that all changed one day when he was going to train. He saw a kicking block on the field, and he got curious. His dad happened to have a football in the car, and they started kicking field goals from the 10-yard line. His first ever kick went through the uprights perfectly, and his love for the kicking game began. Over the years, coaches would see him kick these insane field goals, and he was drilling them from everywhere on the field. One coach even said to him, "Good Lord, son, what grade are you in?" In 6th grade, he made a field goal, which, believe it or not, was the first field goal ever made by a 6th grade kicker in Georgia history. Eventually, he became one of the better high school kickers in the country, and even played in the Army All-American game. He played for Sprayberry High School, and was born and raised in Georgia football territory. So it didn't shock anyone when he chose to walk on for Georgia instead of committing to one of the schools he had offers from. When he got to Athens, he immediately became an internet sensation and a fan favorite. At the time, he committed to play for Coach Mark Richt, but after he was fired, they brought in Kirby Smart to be the new head man. This is important because Richt promised Rodrigo a scholarship if he ever won the starting job. Blankenship redshirted in 2015, but he got a shot in 2016. He was competing against another walk-on named William Ham, but Rodrigo was the better kicker. He made 14 of his 18 field goals, and the highlight of his season was hitting 4 of them against Kentucky, and this made Rodrigo the starting kicker. But unfortunately, he still did not have his scholarship. Since he was a walk-on, he was paying full tuition to the school, and coming from a middle-class family, it was not easy for them to pay for tuition. Even though the promise came under the Richt era, they expected to get the scholarship, or he was going to leave for another school. His dad took to social media and called them out in that. His tactic was a little risky, but it did work, and he ended up getting the scholarship he so desperately desired. As a freshman, he was named to the All-SEC freshman team, and Dogs fans loved him. As a sophomore, he was a starter from the get-go and had multiple memorable moments. He had 4 field goals in their win over Missouri, and he also hit a 55-yard field goal against Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. The kick was as time expired the first half, and it would go on to be critical as the Bulldogs would go to overtime and then beat the Sooners in the extra period. He made 20 of his 23 field goals, or 86.9%, which put him 6th all-time in Georgia history, tied with another famous kicker by the name of Blair Walsh. He was also an excellent person in the classroom and in the community. He was named to the All-SEC academic team, the Fall Honor Roll list, and he won the team's Community Service Award. Going into his junior season, most of the college football world was starting to learn about Rodrigo, and he was becoming a social media star. He hit 19 of his 23 field goals in 2018, and the highlight of the season was unfortunately a missed kick. In the SEC championship game, Georgia was up 2 scores against Alabama before he missed an easy chip shot field goal. From there, Jalen Hurts took over, and Georgia ended up losing the game. Some like to blame Rodrigo because it changed the momentum of the game, but honestly, it was not his fault. He finished the season as a member of the All-SEC second team. As a senior, he made 27 of his 33 kicks, and had one of the best kicking seasons at Georgia ever. Sadly, he'll be remembered for his mistake in their game against South Carolina, though. In a game where the Bulldogs played terrible, it came down to Rodrigo to send the game to double overtime, and he shanked the game-tying kick. Georgia would go on to play LSU in the SEC championship game, but it wasn't enough as they would lose to them. Rodrigo would go on to become a first-team All-SEC selection, a first-team All-American, and he won the Lou Garza Award for the nation's top-place kicker. He will go down as the all-time leading scorer in Georgia Bulldog history, and he was expected to be a solid kicker in the NFL. Rodrigo became an absolute legend in college, and he was even talked about on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show for his rec specs. He was never going to get drafted, but he was going to have his choices of places to play. Thankfully, my Indianapolis Colts signed him and gave him a $20,000 signing bonus. Adam Vinatieri is the greatest kicker in NFL history, but he kind of cost the Colts a playoff spot last year, and he's on the way out. They did sign Chase McLaughlin, but I think that Rodrigo will end up taking the spot. He will get a chance to learn under Adam, and that's why I think he could end up being the next great NFL kicker. Clearly, he is super talented, he was the best kicker in college, and now he'll be learning under the best to ever do it. I am so glad that the Colts signed him, and even if he doesn't play for the Colts in the end, I cannot wait to watch him succeed wherever he ends up, and I have to say it, respect the specs. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you like Rodrigo Blankenship, then take a moment to hit that like button. I'm sure he would appreciate it. If you enjoy videos like this, or college football in general, you will regret not subscribing to the channel, as I have a ton of awesome stuff planned for this summer, and I need your help to hit 2.5k subscribers by the end of June. If you are still here though, be sure to check out these other cool videos I have selected for you to watch next, and until next time, peace.